Hi, friends. The world got you down. Don't be sad. Listen to $2 Late Fee with Zach and Dustin.
$2 Late Fee is the podcast that celebrates the best decade of entertainment, the 1980s. We pick a movie and soundtrack from our youth that we loved and see if it holds up today. We also interview your favorite celebrities from that era.
All in the spirit of positivity and togetherness. Check us out at $2latefee.com.
What's up, everybody? This is Brian here to tell you about our podcast, Bingetown TV. Our hosts include 7 best friends with a love for all things television. We cover a range of genres with a focus on fantasy and sci-fi, but also dip our feet into drama, horror, comedy, and pretty much anything we think is good television. We use the traditional deep dive formula for new live shows that are released week to week, but our calling card is our Rooks and Vets and Pitchtown TV series. Rooks and Vets pairs 2 of our hosts that have seen a show with 2 of our hosts that have not seen a show. Pitchtown TV is when we have a special guest pitch us a show by having us watch the pilot and trying to convince us to watch the rest. If you're craving more content on some of your favorite TV shows, then you should listen to Bingetown TV. Find us on our website at bingetowntv.com, the Apple Podcast app, Spotify, or wherever else you may find your podcast.
Do you like to laugh, geek out on music, and learn all about that band or artist who had that one song back in the day, but then seemed to fall off the face of the earth? If so, you need to subscribe to One Hit Thunder. Together with an array of interesting and hilarious guests, we do a weekly dive into one-hit wonders like Eiffel 65's Blue, Krayshawn's Gucci Gucci, EMF's Unbelievable, Delamitri's Roll to Me, Los Del Rio's Macarena, Musical Youth's Pass the Dutchie, and even Patrick Swayze's She's Like the Wind. So are you subscribed to One Hit Thunder or what? As Desiree would say, you gotta be. And as K7 would encourage, you gotta come, baby, come and join in on the fun of the One Hit Thunder podcast.
Come, baby, come, baby, baby, come, come. Come, baby, come, baby, baby, come. Well, there's a party each and every year on Christmas Eve, where the fun and cocktail shrimp don't seem to end. Clark and Ralphie taking turns on the TV screen, laughing, singing, yelling with all of our friends. Well, it's Christmas, and everybody's gonna spread the holiday cheer, 'cause it's Christmas. Whoa, oh, it's the best time of the year. Let's do fake reindeer.
Hey, Dylan.
Hey, Matt.
So, The Bear season 4 is just around the corner.
I want to preface this with, hold on, I never watched season 3.
You know what?
We never watched season 3.
I think I tapped out on season 3.
We
If
never
I'm
watched
being
season 3.
completely honest.
We went
I
back
think-
and watched season 1 and 2, and then sat down and watched the first episode of season 3, and then never watched anymore.
Yeah, I think that season 3 was a tough one for a lot of folk, honestly. I know a lot of people who are like, yeah, I kind of stopped after season 3.
Yeah.
So you're not missing anything is what I'm trying to say.
Well, hopefully this brings people back. I like when people are into the Bear. I like when people like things.
I want to be excited for the new season, so I'm choosing to be excited for the new season.
Fuck yeah, you are.
But-
and to bring up our excitement, we watched what is possibly the most positive episode of television ever created.
It's certainly the most famous episode of the show.
I would say so.
And this is not the episode I would direct people to if they wanted to watch The Bear. I certainly wouldn't say start at Fishes.
No.
But what I did write down, honestly, is ironically, I do think it's a good starting episode because it's a prequel.
Yep.
So it's like if you haven't watched the show, you don't need to know. There's subtle hints of what happens to characters in the future, but not that much.
No,
really.
It just looks like a dysfunctional family Christmas, which I feel like we should have saved this for October, because I will tell you, we will never watch a horror movie that scares me more than this situation. This is easily nightmare fuel for me. Like this being in this situation, I see myself as a mixture of Stevie and Peter in this situation.
Yeah.
Where I'm just trying to make fucking jokes to like ease the mood, and all I want to do is not be there.
Yeah. No, it's a very good, very stressful episode of television.
Yes.
But I do love it. Like
Yeah.
I
It's
do
perfect.
I do think it nails all the things it sets out to nail, right?
So like this episode starts with Carmi. Listen, we're gonna act like you know about the bear
a little
Like-
bit. Yeah. So here's the thing. This episode is 5 years before I believe the first episode of the
Yes.
bear is what
Yeah.
I read.
Yeah, it's like 200 something weeks before they open the restaurant.
So it starts with them all arriving to Copenhagen to spend Christmas with his family.
Yep.
And the main thing is that his mother, Donna, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, is not a well woman.
Yeah.
She's
And let's be clear, Carmi is returning from Copenhagen. They are not in Copenhagen.
Oh, sorry. He's returning from. They're not at. Yes, but yeah, she's drunk. She's trying to prepare the Feast of the Seven Fishes, and Carmi is trying to say like, nobody eats that. Why are you doing this? Like, this is only going to upset you. And there's like this unspoken rule in the house that you never ask their mom how she's doing.
Yeah. Well, because Natalie or Sugar, right? She is constantly asking how she is. Like, are you okay? Are you okay? Which I get. Like, I completely understand because by all accounts, she's not okay. Like, this entire episode, not once is Jamie Lee Curtis acting okay. So
Yeah.
I understand, but I also understand the flip side. If you're constantly being asked if you're okay, you're going to lose it at some point.
Yeah.
So I
and
also get that.
It's a bit of a picture of poor mental health. That's
Yep.
a lot of what this episode
Very much so, yeah.
focuses on. But we do have these like kind of interesting moments with the family where people are getting frustrated, annoyed, etc. I do like this episode.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like I need to preference that because it feels like I'm going to come down on this episode when I don't mean to. But it is a really stressful episode. And like the bear, I think the bear walks this interesting line, especially in those first two seasons, where it can be really stressful, but it can also be like really funny and it can be really heartfelt. And like at one point I was even describing the first season of The Bear as like Ted Lasso in a kitchen.
I could see that.
Because it is like this outsider comes in but is able to like bring this whole kitchen together as a family. And this episode, I don't think checks as many as of those boxes. It's not particularly heartfelt. There are some funny moments, but like not enough for it not to feel like a punishing, stressful thing.
Yeah.
And then to like dogpile onto it. You know, some episodes of The Bear are like 30 minutes long. This is an hour and 7 minutes.
And
like,
I just give me like 2 minutes to talk about this.
yeah.
I started this episode at 8:00 and did not hop on this recording until like 9:20, 9:30.
Yeah.
Like the ad thing is getting so stupid at this point.
Yeah.
It's like every 15 minutes. And I get it. I understand. Oh, but when we had cable TV, that's how it was. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. But like I went from you're getting ads because we're using the ads to pay to show the product. Okay. Now I'm paying for you to show the product.
Yes.
So why the fuck am I still getting ads? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a good question.
This is fucking stupid. And every single service has increased their price to ad-free tiers, and I just can't. And I'm getting frustrated, and I know I'm shouting at a fucking brick wall.
Listen,
because
preach, brother,
you can't
preach.
fucking change it. Nothing's going to change it. I said it a little bit earlier. I think it might have been the last episode we recorded, but the internet is fucking broken.
Yep.
Everything is broken. We are in the worst timeline.
You are not. No lies have been detected.
And what
in
set
anything
me
you
off
said.
this morning is the fact that this hour-long episode of The Bear was turned into a 90-minute episode of The Bear. And not only was it already stressful, but you prolonged that stress by making me watch it for an extra 30 minutes.
Yep. Nope.
Not you, but Disney.
No, I knew who you were angry
Yeah.
at.
All right.
I wasn't
Sorry.
worried. Yeah, no, that is. I'm glad that we have this platform to vent
Yeah.
about the hard topics that no one's talking about.
All the stars are here.
But yeah, it's very frustrating. Now,
Yes.
I did write down a few things that I did love soundtrack wise.
Oh,
Man,
fantastic.
I mean, that Darlin' Love kicking off the episode, all the celebrity guests. I forgot that the Ramones pop up pretty early in this. Like, a lot of fun. And I do think that while this is kind of a bit of an outlier for the tone of seasons 1 and 2 of The Bear on its stress levels, what hasn't gone away is how fucking phenomenal the camera work is in this show. Like, the constant frenetic moving camera is just chef's kiss
It just
all
makes,
over this episode.
Pun intended.
Uh-huh.
It really does set the stage, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier of this being my worst nightmare. Like, in every single scene, someone is yell talking, which is wild for me to complain about, but it's always like, it is constant screaming. And it's not just like it's screaming when we're angry. It's screaming when we're telling stories. It's screaming when we're trying to make jokes. It's constant screaming between characters. And it doesn't have a chance to slow down. But it's a good thing because that's the energy that they're going for. I do like when we take a little bit of a break and we hang out with the Fack brothers for a few moments.
The scene, I did write down in my notes that the scene where the Fack brothers are just talking to John Mulaney like, it's like a 10-minute scene. It's so good. It is the best part of the episode for me. But yeah, the Fack brothers are great anyway. I wish that there was honestly more John Mulaney.
I do too.
He brings like that dry sense of humor that he already has. And it does like it helps the rest of it go down easier.
He brings the energy that I feel like some of us do. Like where we're like, this is a weird situation. I'm gonna turn this into a bit to make myself feel less uncomfortable. Like when he ends the prayer with saying, "Dear Lord, please make it so Mikey is strong enough not to throw this fork." That made me pop hard. Like I was dying after he said that. I forgot that he included that line in there. It's important to have that character because I feel like it's able to give us someone to identify with when people are kind of breaking down around us.
Yeah.
Hi, friends. The world got you down. Don't be sad. Listen to $2 Late Fee with Zach and Dustin.
$2 Late Fee is the podcast that celebrates the best decade of entertainment, the 1980s. We pick a movie and soundtrack from our youth that we loved and see if it holds up today. We also interview your favorite celebrities from that era.
All in the spirit of positivity and togetherness. Check us out at $2latefee.com.
What's up, everybody? This is Brian here to tell you about our podcast, Bingetown TV. Our hosts include 7 best friends with a love for all things television. We cover a range of genres with a focus on fantasy and sci-fi, but also dip our feet into drama, horror, comedy, and pretty much anything we think is good television. We use the traditional deep dive formula for new live shows that are released week to week, but our calling card is our Rooks and Vets and Pitchtown TV series. Rooks and Vets pairs 2 of our hosts that have seen a show with 2 of our hosts that have not seen a show. Pitchtown TV is when we have a special guest pitch us a show by having us watch the pilot and trying to convince us to watch the rest. If you're craving more content on some of your favorite TV shows, then you should listen to Bingetown TV. Find us on our website at bingetowntv.com, the Apple Podcast app, Spotify, or wherever else you may find your podcast.
Do you like to laugh, geek out on music, and learn all about that band or artist who had that one song back in the day, but then seemed to fall off the face of the earth? If so, you need to subscribe to One Hit Thunder. Together with an array of interesting and hilarious guests, we do a weekly dive into one-hit wonders like Eiffel 65's Blue, Krayshawn's Gucci Gucci, EMF's Unbelievable, Delamitri's Roll to Me, Los Del Rio's Macarena, Musical Youth's Pass to Dutchie, and even Patrick Swayze's She's Like the Wind. So are you subscribed to One Hit Thunder or what? As Desiree would say, you gotta be. And as K7 would encourage, you gotta come baby come and join in on the fun of the One Hit Thunder podcast.
Come, baby, come, baby, baby, come, come. Come, baby, come, baby, baby, come.
Looking for a new seasonal anime? Want to know what new anime music is out there? Looking to add a new waifu or husbando to the list? Or are you just looking for a modern or classic anime to add to your plan to watch list? My name is Nick and I run the Waifus and Weeboos podcast, and you can check me out on Geekscape.net.
The heaviest moment in a very heavy episode.
Yes.
I think is when Carm gives his brother Michael a sketch of the Bear restaurant.
Yeah.
And Michael, looks really excited about it. And then Carm leaves and you see how stressed out he is.
Yeah.
And, you watch that scene knowing that the start of this show is that Michael has killed himself.
Yes.
That like the pressure of the kitchen most likely just got to him, and you're like seeing those early cracks, and that's really tough. But also you're getting this this is one of those episodes where it can be really easy to be like, well, it's a really well-made episode, but like it doesn't provide us any real insight.
I think that's a complete lie.
And, it's like, oh, this doesn't mean anything to the rest of the season. It's like, no, this gives you everything you need to know about the family dynamic between the two main characters and this third character who is not in the show, but is hanging, his ghost looms heavy over the show. Right?
I mean, look at, I almost texted you at one point. I had to stop myself to bring myself to, so I could save it for this. Like, Richie's mother issues are on full fucking display.
Yeah.
Like, there's a point where he's upstairs, quotes around this because he's not taking care of anybody, where he's taking care of his wife, Tiffany, but, like, she is cradling him like a child, like a baby. And I have to assume that was intentional, like the treating him like a child, because he is a literal child. Yeah. And you see that even more when he goes to have the conversation with Unk, like when they're talking about him getting a job, and he's like, okay, what do you do? Yeah. Like you're wanting a job. What do you do? What can you provide me? And he's just like, I don't know. You can train me in business stuff. And it's like, okay, Richie is a child. Yeah. And I feel like I feel like that this episode shows us why he acts the way he does in the first two seasons towards Carmi. Yeah. Because he's a baby. He's a baby who is hurt because his best friend died, and he's hurt because he feels like his brother left, and abandoned them. So I can't disagree more with any more than I already do that this episode doesn't move things forward, because I think it really does open up a lot. We get a lot about Richie's character. We get a lot about Sugar's character and why she is the way that she is because of all of this pressure being put on her, and the fact that Carmi is so talented that he's able to escape from this.
And there's that resentment that he can leave.
Exactly. And go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I would say it's not that it pushes plot forward, but that it gives you so much more
context. A lot of context.
It gives you so much more context for everything that's happened up to this point and everything that will happen past this point. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's why the show is beloved at the same time, is that it is a smart fucking show.
Yeah. Can you remind me of, like, I can't remember, because it is, again, we stopped watching season 3, and was that last year or 2 years ago?
That was last year, and honestly, I can't remember either, because like when I watched seasons 1 and 2, it was like distraction-free time. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I want to give this every ounce of my energy, and all I remember was that by season 3, like I started Distraction Free Zone, and then it just became more and more like this is not doing it for
with
me.
Richie's wife and the child, like, can you remind me? Like, do we know?
I genuinely do not remember.
Okay, like that's
like
what
I almost feel like I have to rewatch season 3 that I didn't like
I texted
before
you,
season 4.
Yes, I was doing a bit, but it was also genuine when I texted you. Went, oh, Britta's in this. Like,
yeah.
I forgot that she showed up. I forgot Richie was even married when I first started watching this.
Yeah, like I truly do not remember.
I
and
almost
like
needed a family tree for a second. So like we've got.
I really, 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 really hope that season 4 starts with a nice lengthy previously on. Because like I think that I'm not alone. I think a lot of people dipped out on season 3 or like got to become passive watchers of season 3 because it just something was missing and I don't know what it was. And like I said, I barely even remember what happened anymore. I just remember watching it and being like, this is not grabbing me the way that everything previously had grabbed me. And I know that that Katie Hampton has said the exact same thing, like that she was a huge Bear fan and never finished season 3 because it just felt so like off.
It did
comparatively.
And I felt like. I feel like it's a very plot-heavy show, and the first episode of season 3 had very little plot.
Yeah,
like if I remember correctly, it was just
is
like
it the one
dramatic.
where Richie's? Is the first episode where Richie's like at the fancy kitchen trying to learn how to cook?
I thought that was season 2. Was that
then
season
that's
3?
Season 2. Then that's season 2. You might be right. Like I'm like what?
Like season 3 starts off. There's like a lot of like. Slow motion shots. It got real artsy to the point where I'm like, I'm kind of bored. Like,
sorry, you're reminding me. I think the season 3 premiere had almost no dialogue.
Yes. To which I'm like, that's listen. I 100%. I love when artists make that choice. One of my favorite movies from the past year was Flow, that animation about the cat. That had no dialogue. It was a feature-length movie. This is not that show.
No.
This isn't that show. The dialogue is part of the reasons I love this show. And I think
it's such
I'm
a
not
frenetic.
Yeah, and I'm not alone.
It's like
I remember
90s Kevin Smith doing a silent movie. It's like that's not. I didn't come to Kevin Smith's films because of how good of a director he was.
Yeah. Now, this is a bonus. We got great camera work and we have a good director, but that's all episode 1 of season 3 was. And I feel like when I finished watching the last episode of season 2, I was like, cool, I want to see the follow-up, what's going on. And then I watched it and I'm like, I'm good. This isn't the show that I liked. I'll go back and check it out, honestly, because I do want to revisit these characters.
People, let us know. Are we fucking up?
And am I dumb? Am I stupid? What did I miss? Because I feel like there was a contingent of people that didn't like episode 1, season 3. And I don't remember a lot of the conversation after that came out.
Yeah, I'm in the exact same boat. But like, how badly did they fuck up? Like, like now
I genuinely feel like it wasn't a fuck up. Like I don't know if it was viewed as bad, but people definitely stopped talking as much about it. Like,
the first 2 seasons, this was a water cooler show for sure.
Yep. But yeah, I couldn't tell you anything about that season, where even when I wasn't watching the show, I could have told you things about season 1 and 2 of The Bear just because of clips that I had seen.
Yeah.
But this is, I would say, Fish's, while it isn't the episode I would send people to, even having rewatched it, I think it is one of the best episodes of television. Like, I think it is a genuinely great, honestly, standalone episode of TV. It captures that feeling of that frenetic pace, that possible, like, schizophrenic, like, idea that's happening there. I don't know if we ever find out, like, what is going on with mom's mental health or not, but it really does the whole episode feels like a ticking time bomb. The whole episode is a ticking time bomb. And you're seeing that real life reaction of the people around this time bomb and people that don't realize that they're speeding up the process of this explosion.
Yeah.
In terms of like sugar and like the conversation between Lee and Mikey going back and forth. The fact that I can watch that and sit there and go, I get it. Like I get Lee's perspective of being like, I'm tired of this guy who's not ever finishing anything business wise, and he's telling the same stories, and it's almost, as much as Bob Odenkirk came off as an asshole, I still felt like it was out of like a, dude, I'm tired of seeing you fucking do this shit year after year to yourself. But then again, I also see Mikey's perspective, because I would have done the same fucking thing. Like, if you called me out for telling a story over and over again, you know damn well at dinner I'm gonna be like, hey, you already asked for the bread, you can't ask for it again.
Yeah.
Like
or not for nothing. Like, wait for the second they tell the same story, because everybody does it. Listen, I'm the king of I have to like literally tell people, let me know if I've actually already told you this story before, because like, I don't know, I like talking.
Yep.
That's why I got like 14 fucking podcasts.
Yeah, exactly, man. So I hope that this season, if I do check back in, and I want to, I like these characters. I hope we get more of the extended family.
Same.
Remember when I thought Oliver Platt died? Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
Because it was while I was watching this show, and I was like, I could have swore for some reason I always think back to thinking Oliver Platt died.
Yeah, you were real
great.
confident on the corpse was not cold.
He was great in Ready to Rumble and Bicentennial Man. I wish he would have made more before he died. Oh my God, there's Oliver Platt. What is happening?
Back from the dead?
That was my Mandela effect.
Yes.
Oliver Platt's still
alive. We all have one. Well, Dylan.
Yeah, man.
Happy fishing to you, buddy.
Yeah, happy fishing to you as well.
Oh, whoa, oh, now we won't stop till the big ball drops on New Year's. Happy holiday, have a great holiday, have a merry happy holiday.
Hi, friends. The world got you down. Don't be sad. Listen to $2 Late Fee with Zach and Dustin.
$2 Late Fee is the podcast that celebrates the best decade of entertainment, the 1980s. We pick a movie and soundtrack from our youth that we loved and see if it holds up today. We also interview your favorite celebrities from that era.
All in the spirit of positivity and togetherness. Check us out at $2latefee.com.
What's up, everybody? This is Brian here to tell you about our podcast, Bingetown TV. Our hosts include 7 best friends with a love for all things television. We cover a range of genres with a focus on fantasy and sci-fi, but also dip our feet into drama, horror, comedy, and pretty much anything we think is good television. We use the traditional deep dive formula for new live shows that are released week to week, but our calling card is our Rooks and Vets and Pitchtown TV series. Rooks and Vets pairs 2 of our hosts that have seen a show with 2 of our hosts that have not seen a show. Pitchtown TV is when we have a special guest pitch us a show by having us watch the pilot and trying to convince us to watch the rest. If you're craving more content on some of your favorite TV shows, then you should listen to Bingetown TV. Find us on our website at bingetowntv.com, the Apple Podcast app, Spotify, or wherever else you may find your podcast.
Do you like to laugh, geek out on music, and learn all about that band or artist who had that one song back in the day, but then seemed to fall off the face of the earth? If so, you need to subscribe to One Hit Thunder. Together with an array of interesting and hilarious guests, we do a weekly dive into one-hit wonders like Eiffel 65's Blue, Krayshawn's Gucci Gucci, EMF's Unbelievable, Delamitri's Roll to Me, Los Del Rio's Macarena, Musical Youth's Pass to Dutchie, and even Patrick Swayze's She's Like the Wind. So are you subscribed to One Hit Thunder or what? As Desiree would say, you gotta be. And as K7 would encourage, you gotta come, baby, come and join in on the fun of the One Hit Thunder podcast.
Come, baby, come, baby, baby, come, come. Come, baby, come, baby, baby, come.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.